Hello, I am Emily. I am an artist, maybe. Long story short, I went to art school. Art school kind of made me hate art. Sorry if you can see my dog. He's sitting in front of me. I'll insert a little shot of how he's laying while I film this. My career path started as like a drawing one and ended up in more of photography, videography, and graphic design kind of thing, which was not really why I started. I stopped drawing completely. I have not been drawing very much at all. So why I'm starting this channel is I've always had this nagging dream of wanting to own like a little art shop and maybe someday have that be my whole job instead of working full time. I am starting an art class. This is an art class by Marc Brunet. He was a concept designer for Blizzard, and it's an art class that he said could be for people that have never drawn before. So I'm starting really, really low level, hopefully, just with the basics to kind of build the foundation that I feel like I never got. And I'm going to take you guys with me. So this channel is going to be very trying to learn how to love art focused, but also trying to build a brand in 2025 when the internet is so saturated and everything is about short form content, everything is about AI and all of that. I just want to take it back to basics. I'm super late to the party, but I want to make long form, friendly talking content with, other artists or just other people. I'm also going to be including every time I make a video what I'm reading, what game I'm playing, and what artists that I've been really liking lately, because I think that inspiration is a huge part of the process of creating art and also just a huge part of life. We're going to jump into that now. Okay. So the book that I'm reading right now is The Familiar by Leah Bardugo. I just started it, so I can't really tell you what it's about. So far, it's like a servant girl in Spain who found out that she can do magic, and so did her employer. So they're sending her to some sort of competition to, I don't know what. I'm going to find out. I'm currently playing Marvel Rivals, which is not that inspiring, but is pretty fun. And I am currently loving the art of Vesper.Twine. I found her on YouTube, but I'm now following her on Instagram, and her new update is very like field journal vibe. There's this really cute bee print that she's working on and one with poppies, and I just kind of excited to maybe try a lino cut print someday, but one thing at a time. Her art's cool. Maybe go check her out. And now we're going to get into the art content. This is where if I was close enough, I would put my hand to make a transition, but I'm not, so sorry. So getting started, we really just kind of got the lay of the land in Photoshop. I honestly zoned out a little bit and started doodling because I have used Photoshop before, but it was helpful because we started using adjustment layers, and it was good to see how Marc was going to suggest that we use these in the future. So we just did a couple exercises there. I did breeze through my first assignment because I don't really want to show a lot of the assignment content that's worksheet based. So I kind of breezed through that, and then we jumped right into building forms, human forms, because why start simple? And all of my references in this video and probably the next several videos are from TrueRef, TrueRef.io. I'll put a link in the description. So we started talking about line of action and building the gesture of the pose, and then we started placing head, torso, pelvis. Then we started placing where the joints were going to go and just kind of what the very, very basic structure of the body is. In between lessons, I made some really good fried tofu sandwiches. I picked up a new book, which we'll talk about next time, and I started writing down my art ideas. I wrote out all of those ideas so that I can reference this when I do start drawing things that are not art assignments. So then a few days later, we jump back into the course. Same thing, starting with all of the stuff that we'd done in the last lesson, and adding it to more reference images. But then we did start adding volume to the limbs. And this was kind of brain breaking because basically we're trying to figure out what directions things are, kind of making them like those little wood posable models that I feel like were all over the place in the 90s. Yeah, these guys right here. So basically just starting to build the poses in space, which I started getting faster as I went, but that also kind of meant that I was getting sloppier on my shapes, and it also kind of meant I wasn't thinking through it as much as I should have been. And my dot for joint placement ended up getting really wonky. Not that it was ever super good, but I definitely want to do this exercise again and probably do it where I draw the same thing next to the person as well. Maybe on a smaller scale, but just to do it without tracing over the image to kind of see if I get it. And I'm going to try to do this in my sketchbook a little bit as well. I just don't think that I quite... At some point my brain kind of started turning off and I just kind of started going, ooh, draw little cylinders, and not super focused. I haven't been a student in a long time, man, and it feels like it sometimes. But this was pretty fun and kind of got me a little excited. I've been doing 2 weeks of the class and I haven't drawn a lot. So these are obviously a couple of those little starting to figure out skeleton things. This is pre-cylinder exercise. And then these are those little doodles that I was doing during the first lesson. And there seems to definitely be a big discrepancy in my ability to do line weight digitally versus like on paper. And I mean, none of this is great, it's just kind of little doodles, but I just feel like I'm not able, I don't have enough control digitally as I do when I'm on paper. So that's kind of something that we're gonna have to figure out. And obviously we had to do a couple little mermaid doodles for Mermaid. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more of this journey that we're taking together, I'll see you next week. Bye.